You took our business in a very positive direction, and it's related directly to one, retention marketing, but how to use email. And so that's why I'm excited Chad is with us today because, matter of fact, if you've been listening to many of the podcast episodes leading up to this episode, we've been talking about some tactics and strategies that Chad Grau literally has taught us. So now you're going to hear from the master himself. So
everyone learns somewhere. So
Yep.
We're going straight to the source this time.
You're listening to Gray's Cast, a show that shares the secrets to selling perishable food products online. The show and advice is brought to you by the team at Seven Sons, which is an 8-figure e-commerce business that started completely from scratch. Each episode, we bring you one topic, 3 strategies, and one tangible resource to continue your learning and put you on the fast track in your own e-commerce journey. Let's begin.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the show. In case you're wondering why we have the second intro music here. Oh, I gotta stop playing with this thing. We gave my brother Brock a small budget to upgrade our equipment, and we have some new toys. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see we got some boom mics. I have a little sound bar here. I can add in little soundtracks to add some extra effect.
yeah.
So this is our new favorite toy. The title of the topic that we're discussing today is on email. So we're going to talk about the top 3 tips for growing your email list. So this is going to be fun. My name is Brooks Hitzfield, and as always, I'm joined with my brother Blaine, CEO of Seven Sons. Blaine, are you ready to talk about email?
This is going to be fun, especially because of our guest that we have with us today. Can I introduce our guest? Or do you
Go
need
for
to...
it. Nope.
Okay. All right. So we're joined by Chad Grau. And Chad, we have been working with you for
almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
December 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we were just talking. Chad is from Illinois, but you visit us every couple of months.
Yep.
You're working with us weekly, daily, obviously, remotely. But we were just talking yesterday while you're here in our planning meeting about how throughout the years as we look back at our business, some of the most impactful positive changes and growth happened at the intersection of partnering with, whether we're bringing someone into our business, but partnering with the right person. And Chad has been that for our business. And when we got together, started working together 3 years ago, you took our business in a very positive direction, and it's related directly to one, retention marketing, but how to use email. And so that's why I'm excited Chad is with us today because, matter of fact, if you've been listening to many of the podcast episodes leading up to this episode, we've been talking about some tactics and strategies that Chad Grau literally has taught us. So now you're going to hear from the master himself. So
Everyone learns somewhere. So
Yep.
We're going straight to the source this time.
yes.
So
Yep. So Chad, thanks for being with us here. And would you kind of introduce kind of your history and how you got into digital marketing and then how we met?
For sure. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be on today and first off, to work with these guys. I mean, I've had a lot of fun the last 3 years. We've had a lot of shared success, and I always enjoy coming, and this is the first experience for me. So these guys, I've learned a lot with these guys, and now being a podcast guest, how about that? So yeah, I'm from Illinois. I have been working with these guys, like Blaine had mentioned, for a few years, and before that, I've actually had a few different transitions in my career. Actually, I'm a doctor of pharmacy. I went to pharmacy school, worked in nursing homes for some time. I've always been a health advocate, and then transitioned from that because I just didn't really enjoy the corporate world because I did not work behind a counter. Transitioned to my own health and fitness business and had a lot of success with that, along with my wife and a great team. And what I found was about 7 years into building that business, I was really enjoying the marketing side of that and marketing the business. And so essentially, you know what, we've learned some really cool skills here that we've had success with. I'm sure there's other businesses that could be helped by what we've learned. And so that's where I made the transition to digital marketing, but I wasn't sure where I was going to go. I just knew I really liked email. I really liked the thought of helping people not just acquire customers, but really maximize the relationships they have with their current customers. So I wanted to pursue that. Didn't know where it was going to take me. Had a handful of different types of clients. And thankfully, Blaine reached out to me in November of 2017 and since that time, I've gone on to only work with farms that sell perishable food online. And it's been a great pivot. I've learned a lot. It hits a sweet spot for me personally with health, and I love food, and just have met some great people. So it's been a great partnership. Looking forward to continuing long partnership and learning and testing and having a lot of fun. So.
Yeah. Well, I think I remember when I first reached out to you, Chad, on your website, it said, like one of the taglines was, "Great, I've got a customer. Now what? Now what?" And the answer to that question is absolutely critical for the long-term success of anyone in a marketing business.
I think you guys need to dive into the exact story on how we met, because what you mentioned about, as far as any business, as you start growing, you'll notice that a lot of your biggest successes and wins that you'll have come from finding the right people in your business, which has been very true for us. Obviously, our business saw a lot of success the year that we connected with Chad, but it's funny because it's one of the stories where you can't imagine life without them then at that point and the impact they've brought to your business, but then it was something that, was really almost by happenstance that it came along. I think that initially you had started diving into email marketing, right? You took a course by Jeff Walker, knew that this was something that we need to be focusing more on.
Knew that we had a huge gap. Knew that, like, we thought we were doing good at internet marketing, as we called it at that time, and email marketing. And the reality is, once I dove into some more learning, realized how much we didn't know and that we needed to find an expert. And that's why I went looking for someone like Chad. And I was really thinking, let's find someone who can help us find more customers and really grow the acquisition side. And what I didn't realize is how much opportunity there was on the retention loyalty part of the equation, which is, we thought we were giving attention. Everyone who's in business has customers thinks they're giving that enough attention, and the reality is most likely not even close to enough attention as far as where the opportunity lies. So that's why I'm excited to have Chad on. And really we're talking about, in today's podcast, you're going to get 3 very practical and great tips for growing your email list.
Yeah, and so, Chad, I know that you've prepared kind of some 3 things that we'll walk through together. And maybe to lead into the topic, say that I'm someone who I've heard that email sometimes people pursue, but I'm someone who's trying to grow online, but I feel like that email feels antiquated or old-fashioned. Facebook has, 2.7 billion users. There's new strategies I can pursue all the time, from Snapchat to Instagram. And so to me, email feels like that thing that, a lot of the young people aren't using anymore, and it's on its way out. So maybe this is a discussion for both of you guys. Talk a little bit about why is email something that everyone should be focused on? What would you say to that person?
Well, so I think that one of the things I posed this question at a conference I was at to some subject matter experts, far more expertise than me. And they're like, well, let me ask you one question. How do you log into everything you log into? With my email address? So email addresses aren't going away. And it allows you as a business owner to have more, command over the relationship. You can reach out to somebody because you have their contact information. You don't have to hope that they come to your Instagram page or your Facebook page. And I think that there's roles for Instagram and Facebook. But one of the things that I read books, and one of the things I want to try to be challenging. I want to challenge some ideas, and one of them is that I view them as complementary to email, not email being complementary to building a presence with social media. Social media is great. I'm on it, some of it. So that's one. Email addresses aren't going away. Number 2, it gives you more command over the relationship. I guess those are probably 2 of the biggest ones. And people spend money. They make purchases usually they have to log in with their email. So I guess it's kind of related to the first point. But
Well, in any of the research I've looked at, return on investment on marketing dollars and time, email just outperforms literally
right. There's
everything.
that whole concept of you own your list. If you try to contact that list, you're sending an email to the whole list versus your Facebook filing.
One of our mentors, Jeff Walker, talks about it in this way: that as a online business, an email list is your only true asset. Yeah. That's it. It's not your Facebook following. It's not, and he would say that for every 10 likes or followers on Facebook, you would need an extra, I guess it's like a 10-to-1 ratio. An email address is worth 10 or more likes on Facebook.
You own it. You own the platform. You don't own Facebook.
It's an
You own
asset.
Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram, they can change the rules, and they do all of the time.
Absolutely.
So in order to start getting return from email, then number one, I gotta start growing the list. So Chad, what do you have for us when it comes to some strategies that we could pursue, someone could start implementing to grow that list?
Yeah. So, I don't know that the three we're going to talk about today, I don't know that I would prioritize one over the other per se. I think they're all great opportunities. But the one that I want to start with is related to product launches. This is something that we've done consistently throughout the year over the last 3 years. And the idea of the product launch is to introduce a lot of enthusiasm, excitement, build anticipation, give something that a customer of yours, a potential customer of yours can also talk to others about and share on their social media platforms and give relevance to your brand. So we've always seen product launches or promotions it's not a sale. Yes, it's a sale, but it's a strategic way to deliver a product that's only available for a certain time or that's new. Okay, so in that we always seen that we're able to. It's great for our customers. Like they know about us. They enjoy a high percentage, enjoy participating, do participate, but it raises noise. It raises volume around your business in general. And we've seen a lot of acquisition, new customers, but also just new email addresses. So you post things on your social for people that aren't on your email address. Hey, if you're interested in this event, X, Y, or Z, whatever it is, click here, put your email address in, and we'll send you the details and a specific day one deal, something like that. So give them a reason.
For example, we're in the middle of our seafood launch.
Correct.
And so we always email our list each year. And before that, because we have our seafood sale when the salmon run happens, right, in the summer. So we bring the salmon in, and we let our customers know that hey, this is one of the best times to get salmon. Yeah, we tell the story, and we say, hey, if you want all the updates about the sale, opt in to an email list, to a targeted or a segmented email list to learn about the sale and to stay up to date. And so that creates excitement. Everyone's opting in for that. And those people share that opportunity with others. And we put it out there on our social media pages that this is an opportunity to opt in to know about this specific sale. And that generates more email addresses.
One of the kind of piggyback on that, one of the things that we do a small bit, not maybe at the same percentage as other businesses or types of e-commerce businesses, but we do some advertising on Facebook and Instagram. And that is one of the ways that we advertise to the people that have a current connection with us. They've created an account, they are a user, or not a user, a buyer, they're a purchaser, whatnot. But there are people who have been on our website that haven't taken that step to give us their email address to learn more. Or there's people that are could potentially be interested in what we do. We're able to identify those people with the help of the algorithm or whatnot to find more people who may be interested in the products that we have. So it's a small percentage of the budget and it's a small percentage of time, but it's something we test, and maybe we'd have more success if we did more, who knows? But that's another way that we do utilize launches. So.
All right, so that finishes up number one with product launches. What do you have for number two tip for growing our email list?
Yep. So just having an evergreen or always available lead magnet. So meaning someone comes to your website, there's some piece of information or something you can teach them or something you can give away in exchange for somebody's email address. So if they don't happen to create an account or make a purchase, at least we want to be able to follow up with something, and typically that's something specific that you can offer of high value, not just join my newsletter. That's not very likely to convert. It used to be back in the late 90s or whatever. It's newsletter, but now we're, unless it's a specific reason to be a part of a newsletter, then that's not going to be very likely to convert. So a lead magnet.
Yep, and that's really important if you're listening to this, because to drive home that whole fact, probably right now, if you're listening, you may have a little newsletter opt-in at the bottom of your website. We did for many, many years. Correct. And then I forget who it was, but someone I think we followed posed the question, hey, do you remember the last time you've joined a newsletter? Like you actively sought out a company and you joined their newsletter. Everyone's very overwhelmed. We have email fatigue. Everyone's getting, a lot of advertising throughout their daily lives. So if you really want that email address, you got to give someone a reason to, to hand that out and provide that.
Yeah. And I think that, as far as ideas, it's a great, Chad, get a lead magnet. Well, what does that mean? What are some ideas? So one of the things that Seven Sons has had a lot of success with is their virtual farm tour. So that's our primary lead magnet. It's positioned on many pages. It's got a nice graphic. It's got an easy button to click. All things to consider. But it's something that if I'm looking to buy food from you guys and I don't know you, and I want to trust you, I want to get to know you, and I want to see. You're going to give me the opportunity to see the land that the food is raised on, and that potentially I'm purchasing. So that's fairly compelling.
It answers the question, because what we've determined is that so many people, when they come to our website before they buy, the question they really want to answer is, do you really do what you say you do?
Yep.
So it's that's the question we've identified that's on a lot of our new visitors to our website. That's on their mind. So that's the idea of a lead magnet, is you're answering a very specific question on their minds.
Correct. So that's an idea. What's one way that the way you raise food or that you produce food, whatever, how is it different? What can you teach somebody about what makes your product unique compared to what they may purchase at the store? That's another thing. That's a good question to ask yourself in general for lead magnets. What do I know that's valuable to help inspire, educate, or teach a potential customer?
I know an example I've seen on some dairy websites that market dairy products, especially raw milk or liquid milk, is how to take that product and turn it into butter or yogurt. Those are that business determined. Those are questions on people's minds.
And we're talking about some ideal examples, but anything is better than nothing.
Correct.
And you can always improve it over time as well. I mean, I've been on websites where they've had just tips for a recipe for how to create bone broth. You may actually have a recipe on that right now on your website, so the content's already there. So literally the effort for you to turn that into a lead magnet and having someone opt in to receive that is very minimal, and you can get started. It'll be more effective than what you're doing right now, and you can improve on it later.
And most of our listeners probably know, but just in case you're still confused with the idea of lead magnet, the idea is you're asking someone to put their email address in the form, and in exchange for that, signing up on your email list, you're sending them that resource, that educational resource. In our example, we send them the first link to our video virtual tour.
Yeah. So it should be what you're giving or away of value. It should help somebody to get a question answered quickly. Or help them get a quick win. It shouldn't be like a big investment of their time.
So a 30-page PDF guide, not a good...
one pager.
Yes.
One pager.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so number 2, replace the newsletter opt-in form with a lead magnet opt-in form. So what do we have for number 3?
So number 3, this is going to be, I think, maybe a good discussion. But one of the things that we have done, we have tested is... as it relates to the store setup on Seven Sons, is if you go there at the time this is recorded, then you can go to the shop and you can see every single product that's offered, but you can't see price until we know where you live.
Yep.
So we call it zip code gate. So we require somebody to put in their email address and their zip code to be able to view products specific to them that they can purchase. Because and we position it when people ask, I'm not creating an account if I have to give you my email address, or I'm not going to, just not going to do it. But we say, hey, there's a benefit here for you in that you're only going to see products in the store that you can buy. It also allows you to see the exact price you're going to pay. Mm-hmm. So there's we try to share the benefits of why we require that. But we ran a test, July of 2018, I think it was, maybe 2019.
Sounds about right, yeah.
July 2019, maybe.
Yep.
Where we wanted to one of the ideas we had wanted to pursue was to try to identify more cold traffic, or people that don't know about us, that we want to, who should be interested in us based upon their purchasing habits, and be able to drive more people to the website and have them learn about what Seven Sons does and what products we offer in our story, right? Very common. I mean, that's if you are on social media and you see ads for companies you don't know about yet, that's what we were looking to do for acquisition, for acquiring new customers. We had a lot of success in reactivating and current customers, and we had a path to get people on board quickly as customers, but how can we do more acquisition? And that's kind of like everybody's doing it. You know, it seems like something we should try. But the downside of the current setup was that we were going to be driving cold traffic and people who don't really know much about us but should to a website where they would then have to create an account to see prices. And when somebody really doesn't know you that well, that's a kind of a high ask for having to for them to make a first step with you. It's a different story for somebody who is organic traffic. They're searching out grass-fed beef.
They have high intent.
They have some very specific high intent, and they find your website and, okay, well, I'm interested in this product. I'll put my email and zip code in. So they're two totally different things. So what we had seen, though, was, well, in trying to make a better experience, we wanted to be able have folks be able to see products just with putting in
Their
zip code, but not the email.
Correct.
Not email.
So that was a test. Zip code plus email or just zip code.
Yeah.
When they visit the store. Yep.
Yeah. So, Brooks, if you want to play with your new toy over there, here was the result. Here was what you can expect the results to be with the number of email addresses that we got. This sound pretty much captures
See
that.
if I get this right.
Yeah.
Oop, gotta turn up my volume.
Nope. No. No.
There we go.
That's the
there
one.
it is.
We saw a pretty precipitous drop in the number of accounts that were created each month by less than half.
Again, this is the path of where someone lands on the website, sevensons.net. They want to go to our store to shop, see what products we have to offer. And what we were doing is we were asking them to enter their zip code first. They couldn't see products. They couldn't see pricing.
Yep.
Enter your zip code, and then you could get to the store. We were doing that to try to solve an operational problem where we're shipping products to our customers. We also have these remote pickup locations. Someone can pick up at the farm, and we were charging different pricing for those different ways of buying from us. That way we embed the shipping costs. So we had a legitimate reason to do this, but that was the path that people were following through.
Yep, exactly. And so when we just started asking for zip code, we thought, well, that's less of an ask. That's easier for them to do. We'll get more people on the store. We'll get more people looking at the products that way, and we'll have more customers, right? And more email addresses in the long run of customers. That's not what happened at all.
No.
Did not happen.
Yes,
No.
with less new customers altogether.
What was it? I think our average new user rate was about cut in half, I think, at that point. So the number of email addresses we're getting from people creating accounts was cut in half.
It dropped in half, and with that, the number of new customers dropped considerably. Not in half, but I mean, it was a big drop.
And revenue.
Yeah, and revenue went
pretty
way
much
down.
Everything went down.
Stopped asking for that email address, everything went down. So literally, our shopping experience requires a zip code and email address, and that's one way of part of it. It's almost like a lead magnet in itself. It's that if you want to shop at Seven Sons, you need to create an account so that we can tailor the shopping experience, show you what's available in your area, what's not available, and show you the prices delivered to your door. That's what customers want. Make it simple for me.
Yeah, and I think that no matter what you do or how you position it, which that's a correct position of why we do it. Like it's a customized shopping cart for you. Like that's what we're able to do, and we don't want to surprise you with fees at checkout. I know that I hate that when I'm shopping online and I get, oh great, it's $10. Oh, actually it's $25. It's got to pay $15 in shipping. I hate that. So we wanted to avoid that. No matter what you do, there will be folks online who will say, I'm not creating an account,
Not giving my email address.
Right.
Yep.
And we're just going to have to be okay with that.
Yep.
Don't let it discourage you. Know that it's very normal if you so choose to move to requiring zip code and email.
The biggest thing, if you're, it is kind of a scary step. Wait, I'm going to
is.
require a visitor to put their email address in to see my store. But what we've done in every case, we've just encouraged folks they're using GraceCart. Well, just test it and try it.
Yeah.
In every case, orders, sales, email acquisition, all of it just goes up.
Well, and I think that's really important too, to paint a crystal clear picture of what it looks like now, because we've tested a lot of different scenarios with this shopping experience. Do we ask for email? Do we not? Just zip code, not. And the best results that we have seen is what we're doing now, where if you go to our website, you go to our store, you're going to see the products we offer. So I get to see all the products, the descriptions, get a lot of information. Oh yeah, these are things that I might be interested in, but I cannot see the price until I create that account. So it just says, hey, pricing varies by region. To see pricing, you need to create an account. So they enter their zip code and email. That's it.
No password.
No
Don't
password.
require a password. Yep.
Just 2 fields, and then they're done. Then they're going to shopping. They add things to the cart. At checkout, they create the password, and they finish creating that account. We ask for more information, of course, their address, payment information. But again, just 2 very simple fields, and that has dramatically increased the number of emails that we're getting. It solved that problem that we had before. Where
So if you want to grow your email list and you're using GraceCart, just go experiment with all you have to do today is just experiment with the setting. And everyone that we've had do that, say email address acquisition.
Yeah, again, it's not
goes
mandatory. Just try it. Everyone's system's a little bit different, but if you're in a position where you can utilize this, I would highly recommend trying it. In fact, in our Facebook group for GraceCart, there was someone who had tried this. I think it was back in May. And I'm just going to read his comment here. He said, hey, everyone, I recommend changing your store setting like Seven Sons does to create an account to view prices. I was getting 2 to 3 new users daily, so new email addresses. I changed it yesterday, and I got 30 new users in about 24 hours.
It's dramatic. In most cases, it's dramatic.
Yeah.
So.
And there are other testimonials or, on that thread. I mean,
yeah, we can keep going through here.
There are many. So I know I've worked on it with a handful of GraceCart clients and similar experience.
And what's really great about it is not only it's kind of a byproduct, are you getting more email addresses, right? But you're also trying to create a more convenient shopping experience to where when I go to your website, I create that account, I'm seeing the exact pricing for all the products, and when I get to checkout, I'm not surprised by some $40 delivery fee at checkout.
All you have
doesn't
to
work.
Yeah. It creates a seamless shopping experience. Just by asking for that email and zip code, you've generated an account for them, and now their next steps are so much easier because you're actually putting. In our case, when an account is created, and Chad, when an account is created, there are hundreds of actions that are set in motion in an automated sense from their emails they're getting, from how this website appears to them. It shows them the exact delivery date. You
really build all that logic back into the back end. And if you don't do that, though, when someone lands on your website, they have to try to make those decisions and figure it out on their own.
Yeah, what's available in my area, what's not, what's the cost for shipping, all that stuff. So I'm glad you brought that one up, Chad. It's really an easy win to increase.
It is an easy win, but I think that it is, if you're listening to this episode, maybe it's scary. So I want you to know that that's a normal feeling. But to be willing to test it, because I think you'll be surprised and hopefully excited by the results you'll get.
In order to adapt and improve, you have to test things. Sometimes it doesn't go according to plan, but if you're not failing, then you're not improving either. So great tactics, Chad. I like the list there. In fact, I got here's what I think of it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm glad you got that right into the
Yeah. All right. All right, so there's some very actionable tips for growing your email list, and a lot of these things you can take action on very, very quickly. So, you've probably done promotions before, so thinking about a product launch to create some buzz around your business and your website, that's going to acquire some new users. Same thing with that lead magnet. Again, that can be something very simple to start. You might be able to do that today. If you have a recipe on your website, just add the lead magnet there and deliver it via the email opt-in. And then play around with those settings on your store. If it fits your type of business to require an account to view pricing, definitely something we would recommend trying out. So,
if I can add just one thing on the
go for it.
On the lead magnet, as far as the tooling you might need, the platforms that you may be interested in. For one, if you're using MailChimp or Drip, which the majority of people who are listening to this are probably using one of those 2 email service providers to follow up with their audience. They have tools that you can use for what you're already paying. So you don't have to go invest in a different platform. There are many that are out there. The ones in MailChimp, quite frankly, I'm a huge drip guy. The ones the lead magnet or the email collectors in MailChimp are actually, I think they're better than the ones in Drip. But Drip does have functionality, a little call it toaster, a little pop up in the corner. There's things you can do there in Drip. We use lead pages pretty regularly.
So that's an external tool. But basically, right, the way this works is you go in MailChimp, whatever tool you're using, they allow you to have some sort of form, whether it's a pop-up or it's something that can live on a page. They'll give you like HTML code. And if you're a Gracecart user, or most websites should allow you to do this, you should be able to just paste that HTML code at the bottom of the website, wherever you want the lead magnet to live, and it displays real nice. You might have to play with the colors to make it look like your website, but and that's it.
But it's something, so I don't want, everybody's, rightfully so, has to be aware of how much they're, what new tools they invest in. And I just want you to know that there are tools you can use and you can invest in, but bottom line, you can get started at zero additional cost with whatever email service provider you're using. Almost in all cases. I can't think of an email service provider that doesn't have one.
Yep.
So, Chad, I know you've created or you have a resource to share with our listeners today, as far as if they enjoyed what they've heard, they want to dig deeper on this topic and maybe some others. How would they go to find those resources?
Yep. So if you go to my website, which is chadgraue.com, so it's ChadGraue, so chadgraue.com, and if you just go to /graze, Graze, there'll be many different tools that you can choose from to help apply to your business. Certainly, we can have their items on there related to growing your email list, from copywriting and just many different areas for marketing your business. But that will kind of be a hub that I would point Grace, and there will be specific things to help get ones with Gracecart on there. So cool. That's why the /Graze. So these are chadgraue.com/Graze.
These are strategies that Chad has helped us employ in our business as well, and we can attest to the effectiveness. So we'll leave a link in the show notes wherever you're watching this YouTube, so you have access to that as well. So, Chad, thanks again for joining us.
Yes,
this is great.
Well, your expertise. I mean, if I can just quickly hijack this episode. These guys are always very complimentary of how what I've brought to the table. But the truth is that they have a great business and they're great people and they have high integrity, and they did a lot of really hard work for a number of years to get to the position of being able to capitalize on those opportunities. So I just can't thank these guys enough. But I will brag on them all day long to anybody, like I always have and do. So just I want to make sure that point's well made.
It's reciprocal. It's been a good fit.
It's been a magical combination. That's what it's been. So thank you, Chad.
Thanks for joining us. We'll talk soon.